I think one of the biggest reasons why people quit too early is because they underestimate the importance of small progress. People ignore small progress. You see, guys, when you're building something, a lot of people focus on massive results, and social media have a big impact to play on you, especially because you're looking at those people who are already successful or those so-called gurus who already achieve massive results. And so that kind of put you in the state of mind that you're expecting viral results. And when you're seeing that results are not going your way, especially over a short period of time, you're thinking to yourself that you're actually failing. All of these so-called guru and those success that you're watching and imagining and dreaming about in the beginning, just setting up that instant success mindset. And while having that success mindset is not a bad thing, to believe in yourself that it's going to happen overnight is actually damaging you being able to sustain long term. Your mind is now setting up for short term success, and you're not looking ahead or putting yourself in the state of mind where you'd say, hey, I'm going to be in this for the long term. And so this is also setting up you for taking for granted those gradual improvements that you've been making over that short period of time. So yes, while it's good to actually look at success, look at what people have achieved and kind of give yourself that confidence that yes, with hard work, I can achieve this, or this is what a potential success looks like in that particular business, niche, space, whatever. You have to be careful of having that instant success mindset or having those viral expectations, especially too soon, because everybody's experience is different. And you have to have the mindset that I'm going to be in this for the long term in order for you to achieve the success that you desire. Small progress compounds quietly. You see, guys, most real time growth happens slowly and quietly in the beginning. You see, when you actually start something, because we're all creative beings, you kind of get that drive, that energy, that creativity to get started, and you feel all pumped up to build and to grow and to achieve, right? And those tiny improvements are what we're not seeing, but they're happening over time and they play a massive part in our results and our success. You may not see them at first because you're not getting the success that you want, or you're not able to translate those tiny improvements in the beginning to success, but they all adds up. And why they adds up, why those tiny success are almost invisible, is because they are the ones that contribute or adds up over time to make you achieve that success. And because you're in that drive, that energy, that creativity, it's almost impossible that you will not learn. It's almost impossible that you will not gain the experience that you deserve. It's almost impossible that you will not gain momentum. You will gain momentum and you will learn and improve. You will gain the necessary experience that you need to continue to grow and to take your business to the next level. And in the end, when you start to reap the benefits or you start to see the results, it's because of all of those tiny improvements that you've been making over the last couple of months or years. But in the beginning, they're almost invisible and you can't see how they're going to add up because in front of your eyes, you can't see the success yet. But this is a crucial part of success and they play a massive part in your improvement and your success. And I can attest to that because when I just started out on YouTube, I almost see no results. I almost see that I'm trying making loads of videos. As I said in previous videos, I've made thousands of videos and quite a lot of those videos get almost no views or little to nothing, right? Maybe the maximum videos we're getting were like 50, maybe 100 views. And then over the years, like I would say realistically, videos that I post last year, those videos are the ones that are now start to get some views now and start to generate money a year later. So I realized that whatever I'm posting now, I should not really look at it like it's a failure, because it takes time, and then I am also contributing to, and then I know that over time these videos will get handful of views there, and they all adds up over time. And guess what? Every little video I make, if they get a few cents here or a few dollars there, you can imagine out of my thousands of videos how much I'll be earning per month. It's really interesting, right? So the reason why I am saying this, and the reason why I've chosen this niche, is because it teach me patience. It teach me, there's so many viral niches out there. You just make a video and the video blow up and you get some money here and then it dies. But in the tutorial space, making evergreen videos, it teaches me patience, and it teaches me to sow and reap later. It teaches me delayed gratification. It teaches me a lot about my patience and my mindset, and it just teaches me a whole lot, guys. And so this is one of the reasons why I love this niche so much. But yeah, all of those small improvements that you've been making, especially when you're in that zone of creating, you will definitely improve, and they all adds up. The improvement is often invisible at times. And yeah, guys, sometimes progress happens when you can't really see it clearly. It's just there, but because you are not able to identify these little small wins or translate these small, tiny little bit of improvement here and there. It could even be just a little mindset shift or a little bit of knowledge that you gain. It counts towards improvement, but you can't really translate it because you might not see it result into some success or money in the beginning, but they all adds up. So whether it's by getting a little bit better or gaining a little bit more confidence on camera, or if you're a person like myself who don't really like to hear your voice coming from a device. For me, I was always fine speaking to someone, but whenever I hear myself on a phone or a playback audio, whatever it is, I always have that feeling like, oh my God, I don't like how I sound, you know? And so whether it's by trying to get used to this or get better on camera or gaining some confidence or gaining a little bit of knowledge about what you're building or the niche that you're in or the business that you're in, or tweaking your system a little bit, whatever it is, little by little, every little day you might make a little decision here and there, and not realizing that these are small little progress that they might not translate immediately into something where you can see that it's success. But they adds up. And sometimes these changes you might test and you fail, and you might say, oh, I make a mistake or nothing is not working. But guess what? You learn what's not working. And so you can rule this out and move on to something else. That's a massive improvement, but it's just a little mindset shift that we have to have. And it just requires us to be really present and aware to be able to see these things as improvement. Sometimes sometimes it takes us years to really think back and reflect and realize that these things were improvements, these things are progress, and they will all translate into where we are today or 5 years from now, whenever we start to achieve that success. Comparing progress destroys patience. You see, guys, this is a very important point. When you start to have comparison or comparing yourself, it will almost 100% make your progress invisible. Because here's why. You will start to use the social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, or wherever, and start to compare yourself with those people who are already there or already miles ahead of you and already start to see results. And you may be looking at them, seeing what they're doing and trying to do the same, and start to compare yourself and think that it's not working for me, I'm failing, or I'm a failure. But that's not true. One of the worst things that you can do is set up these unrealistic timelines. I'm telling you, I've also done that. I'm going to be brutally honest. Up until today, there are times when I fall in that trap of setting up unrealistic expectations or unrealistic timelines, especially if I reflect and see how things were going for me, and then I set up that expectation and think that this is the reality, this is the norm, and that should happen X amount of time. And I'm going to give you a very clear example. When I just get monetized on YouTube, the first couple of months or the first year, I was making less than $1,000 on YouTube. And the following year it jumps massively. And so I expect that the following year after that, I should earn another massive rise. And the truth is, for the first couple of months, I was thinking that what's going on, I'm failing, all these different things come to my mind, because guess what? I set up that unrealistic timeline that my channel is going to bump up into X amount of earnings, that by X amount of time it should be this. By the end of the year, I should double that previous year income. And I start to predict. And that wasn't good for me mentally, because I thought that I was failing when I didn't see that result happening. But what I didn't realize was that even though I was growing my channel with so many videos for the first, until I monetize, yes, I start to receive a couple of earnings. Yes, I start to receive some earnings in the first year, and YouTube start to understand my data. YouTube start to give me some earnings in the first year. Then after the first year, YouTube understands what's going on, and guess what? My earnings start to skyrocket, right? But the following year, I have to realize that I might need to do something a bit differently. When you monetize your channel and you gain your first year of earnings, the second year, it's almost guaranteed that your earnings is going to skyrocket. But after that, there is another phase, there's another level where you have to learn something new. And that's about scaling. That's about understanding your data more and what type of content your audience need and what you need to do to scale above that level. Because no more it's about doing the same thing and expect that you're going to double or triple your income. You have to learn the game differently now. You have to learn a whole new level of things about YouTube that can take your earnings to a whole new level. And it takes me almost half a year to realize this. And what I was doing for the first 6 months, wondering what's going on, being frustrated, don't have a clue what to do next, until I start to accept that, okay, this might be it. Okay, what can I do? And start a little bit open myself to the possibility that I have to try something differently, or this might be a new level that I need to reach to be able to do this. And sometimes it takes some time, and we're human, and especially when you don't have the knowledge, you cannot make that step if you're not aware. And sometimes it just takes time for us to really realize that. And so guys, you don't want to fall in the trap where you have those unrealistic timeline, even based on your experience that you had in the past or historical data. You don't want to fall in the trap where comparing yourself to other creators. And most of all, try not get caught up in the social media comparison, comparing yourself with what those so-called gurus are highlighting as success, and match that to your personal life and say, yes, I should have this success too. Because guess what? Their lifestyle is different. Your lifestyle is different. They have different time on their hands. They're exposed to different knowledge. You are just starting out. And so you want to be careful with this. Small wins create long-term momentum. And so guys, I just want to let you know and just want to share this, that your small wins, they all adds up slowly and they build momentum massively. And here's why. Over a longer period of time, you will have consistent. And so those small wins that you're getting will require you to be consistent. And consistency is key in anything you do if you want to achieve success. On top of that, it builds momentum for success. It requires discipline, it requires consistency. And guess what? All of this, while you're staying consistent and being disciplined, is going to form new habits for yourself that is going to become normal, and it's going to transform your life in a massive way to become that person who will be successful. Have you ever heard people said that in order for you to achieve a certain level of success in life, you have to become that person. And what does that mean? It means that you're gonna have to think differently, you're gonna have to form new habits, you're gonna have to become consistent, and you're gonna have to become disciplined. All of these changes is gonna transform you into a new person, new way of being, and new habits. And so your old lifestyle, how you used to be, act every single day, is gonna change. It's gonna have to change. And so all of those small wins that you had, you're doing them on a daily basis consistently. You're disciplined, you form new habits, and all of this transform your life over a longer period of time to achieve success. It doesn't mean that you just get up overnight and you just start to think differently and be differently and just have this one moment of you trying to think that I'm a rich person that is going to transform your life. No, it's the way you think, the consistency behind it, the habit formation, and the discipline that you're going to have to achieve that. And when you achieve that, you're going to have to continue. So all of this has to be done now over a longer period of time to achieve what you need to achieve in life. That's just the hard truth. And that's what it actually takes to achieve success in life. And I just want to share what I've personally learned. And I've always trying to share something in the end of each of my videos, what I've personally learned over time. I just want to say, guys, if there is one thing that I've learned over the last couple of years, especially in my YouTube journey, is that growth is really boring in the beginning, especially when you're just starting out, especially in the first few years, especially when you're not making any money or you're not seeing the results that you want. It's really boring. But when it starts to compound, when it starts to blossom, it's a beautiful thing, because now you start to feel that confidence in yourself that yes, I've done this. That whole new level of energy just transform into this whole new heights of creativity. You just feel like a empowered person who can do anything that you want to do in life. And so guys, I just want to wrap up this video by saying, I think a lot of people are closer to progress than they actually realize. And sadly, they just stop before all of those small progress get time to compound towards success. That's why you hear people say over and over again, is that some people just quit right before they succeed, or some people go through trials and right at the moment when they're about to quit, they have this drive to take this next step forward, or just a little drive to continue, and then it just transforms into success. It's all about the consistency. So if you stick with whatever you're doing, be consistent, over time it will compound. It is impossible that your small wins will not compound. It's impossible that your small wins will not grow. It's impossible that you will not improve. It's impossible with consistency and discipline that you will not get that momentum to continue. But if you stick with it long term, you will succeed. And that's what I've learned. And I just want to take the time to share this with you guys. Thank you guys for watching.